Good afternoon. It is not another beautiful day for a detail. It is actually quite a miserable day. We have Storm Dara that is making its way well and truly through where we live. So today I thought I would do a bit of a different video. Let's do a video where I'm going to show you the gear that I use and how you can get started if you want to go out there and valet cars as well for around £500. So with that in mind, we're going to separate it into two sections. We're going to have have-to-haves and we are going to have nice-to-haves. The idea is have-to-haves are things that you must have if you are looking to get out there and valet other people's cars. Nice-to-haves, it's pretty self-explanatory. You don't have to have it, but it will make your life a lot easier. So let's get started. First things first, pressure washer. I have a Karcher K2. This is a fairly standard pressure washer that a lot of people will have, and the reason I have it is that it's compact. You don't need to have a Karcher series, you can get cheaper ones out there, but the reason I have Karcher is because their warranty is good, and it's what I had as a personal item. I've paid £90 for mine. You will find them for around that price. You must have a pressure washer. The reason being is that a lot of customers will come and ask you to clean cars and they will be pretty filthy on the outside. If you're just using a hose pipe, you will not have the purchase needed to get that grime off there. Moving on to another must-have is a vacuum cleaner. I have got a Titan wet and dry vac. I'm not going to put it on my table because it's kind of gross, but you get the idea. It is a wet and dry vacuum cleaner from Screwfix for around £40. You can buy different brands for a little bit more money. You can buy different brands for a little bit less money. The idea being they are really basic. They fill into a reservoir. You can either have bags in there or you can just fill it as it is. It depends on whether or not you're looking to wet or dry vac. But for both, it's a great object. This next one, I think some people may disagree with. The reason being is it is expensive. A Shark Spotless, is that what they're called? Stain Striker. It is essentially a wet carpet cleaner, and the reason I think it is essential is because when you're starting out, or even if you are entrenched in your business and well established, people who don't have the time, don't have the energy, don't have the ability to clean the inside of their car ad hoc as and when it needs it will come to you, and so this is going to be absolutely essential to make sure that you can get a deep clean into the carpet. This particular piece of kit cost £150 and I honestly can tell you it's worth every single dime. You can do a full set of floor mats with this piece of kit a lot more quickly than you would be able to do with a brush, with some carpet cleaner and with your hands, and because of that I think it's worth investing in one of these. Get one, you will not regret it. Following on from that, a steam cleaner doesn't have to be expensive, it can be cheap. This one was around £20 from Argos. If you have a car that hasn't been cleaned in a while, you will find that the vents, you will find that the sort of gaps between the plastic panels will have grime in there, and just the best way to get rid of all that loose dirt and debris is to use a steam cleaner. A caution and a caveat, though, steam cleaning can damage cheap plastic, so if you're unsure, don't use the steam cleaner, and if you decide that you must, start with some distance between the nozzle and the surface it is you are cleaning, because that's going to ensure you can just escalate the power up as you need and always have the minimum effort required. And the final piece of gear for the must-haves, snow foam cannon, and the reason for this is snow foam is a lot more beneficial than just looking good for pictures, which it does. The reason that foam is so important is it's a nice easy way to blanket onto a car and provide that protection layer when you're going in for a contact wash. With the snow foam, you will find that it's just a lot easier to get that coverage with a lot more speed as well. That is kind of the main driver here. It's not only about doing a good job, it's about doing a good job in the time that you have available as well. So let's move on now to the gear that I have that I would call nice to haves. I'm going to start with two that I can't show you here because they're outside. The first one is my water tank and the second one is my hose pipe. The water tank is great because it means I can fit it into my car, strap it down to the seat belts, and I can be fully mobile. If a customer doesn't have a hose, doesn't have access to water outside, that's really beneficial for them. The second one is the hose pipe, and that is a fairly expensive hose pipe that I've purchased because it's just a lot more robust. When I do my own cars here, or when I do customer cars at my house, a lot of cars will drive over my road and over my hose, so I had to spend a bit more to get a fairly robust and reinforced one. You don't need to do that, but that's just what I have. The water tank was £200 and the hose pipe was £40, but nice to haves, you don't have to spend that money. Otherwise, for my nice to haves, I've got my power extension, I've got my mini DA polisher, I've got my full size DA polisher too. So these are both by a brand called Batoka. They're not an expensive brand. They're not your Rupaz. They're not your Flex. They are fairly cheap on Amazon. I've then got my jet wash handle, and somewhat bizarrely, I've put in here buckets. The reason being, you can buy buckets from B&Q, Halfords, wherever for a couple of pounds, and they're more than fine. The reason you get the big valeting buckets is because the grit guards will fit in there. And also because it's just better and easier to have more product available. Other than that, you don't need to buy an expensive bucket. So price. Buckets will probably set you back about £20. This extension cable here was 30. For my two DA polishers, I paid 200 for both. And then for my short jet wash attachment, I have paid 30. So with all that in mind, the essentials that I've shown to you will come to £325. That's for your pressure washer, that's for the steam cleaner, that's for the Vax machine, the vacuum cleaner and the foam cannon. Those will absolutely be more than enough gear to get you started. Let's move on to chemicals. I have done this in 3 sections. You have exterior, you have interior, and you have protect. On the exterior, this is where you'll find you spend the most money so that your customers can look at that car and go, wow. First, a snow foam. I've gone for a Simone's snow foam. It is watermelon flavour. It is pH neutral, and the reason I've gone for a pH neutral one is number one, the cost. It's £15 for 2.5 litres on Amazon, very reasonable, and also it does a really good job at just providing that lubrication layer when you're going for a contact wash. A fallout remover. This is Easy Car Care Aurora. This is an expensive fallout remover if you don't get the deals. This one I paid £17 for 5 litres. Normally it's £60 for 5 litres, which is a lot of money, but if you don't want to spend that much, you can get other versions online with Amazon. Dragon's Blood, a great example. You will need a good all-purpose cleaner. Ultimate from Easy Car Care is exactly that. Alkaline-based degreaser. You can use it on the interior, you can use it on your wheels, and you can use it on the exterior as well. Just a cautionary tale, don't let it dwell on the paint for too long. Absolutely do not let it dry, because then you'll find yourself having to polish off the marks that it leaves behind. Adjacent to that is a citrus pre-wash, and as I mentioned before, you have a car that has a lot of dirt and lichen on it, specifically that. It's great at breaking that down, and then the pressure washer zooms it all off. And finally, for the 5 litre stuff, a luxury car shampoo. Again, Easy Car Care Ember. This is a beautiful shampoo. It doesn't have any wax-based additives in it, and for the money that it costs, all 3 of these here you can get for £40. That is a very good price when you're looking at 5 litres. And finally, from Autoglim, fast glass. Glass is incredibly important when cleaning a car. It is the first thing a customer will notice if it isn't up to snuff. Let's move on to the interior ones. Interior chemical number 1, carpet cleaner. Interior chemical number 2, interior detailer. Interior chemical number 3, an all-in-one spray. And interior chemical / product number 4, a leather care balm. This will cover all the products and all the surfaces that you will get on the inside. Carpet cleaner, fairly self-explanatory. These are designed to be diluted and then used in your wet vacs. These can be picked up for £5. That's how much I paid for this one. Then we have these two. This is £9 and it's from Turtle Wax. It's a ceramic all-in-one cleaner. You can get the entire interior cleaned up in a car in a lot less time than if you had to swap around between all your different chemicals. Bear in mind, your Ultimate, your APC from before, can be used on the inside as well. If you have really disgusting, thick, sticky dirt that people have, Steam and Ultimate, that's going to be your absolute best friend. Now, this is £15, and that is a lot of money for an interior detailer, but it is worth it because of the smell. This, as you can tell, is definitely not Bleu de Chanel, but it smells amazing. When a customer gets into a car, they sit down, they breathe in for the first time, it's going to make a world of difference. Finally, a leather care balm. This is just to make sure that you are protecting the leather surfaces in a car. Remember, leather should not be shiny, it should be matte. So after you've gone in and you've cleaned the leather seats, just make sure you go over the top with a leather care balm to add that protection back in, and also to rehydrate and re-moisturize where needed. All in for these interior chemicals, then we are looking at £35. These are chemicals that I feel you must have so that you can provide the best care possible to a car's interior. So let's move on to the final stage of chemicals, which is the protection. So for protection, we have 3. First is Meguiar's Ultimate Paste Wax. This is quite an expensive wax at £35. It is incredibly durable, incredibly easy to use, and worth it over Fuso's 12-month Protect, in my opinion. Fuso is cheaper, however this is a lot more durable of a product, and also it's a lot easier of a product to use. Now onto the buzzword that a lot of detailers have, which is ceramic coating. These products here are a way to get that ceramic protection onto paint. Halford ceramic foam, this can be picked up for about £11, and Turtle Wax ceramic spray, this can be picked up for about 15. If you haven't seen these videos on YouTube that show this product, the absolute hydrophobic protection that it can achieve is nuts. It is bonkers for an off-the-shelf spray at Halfords. Similar with this is actually something I didn't expect to be impressed by. I used it on my sister's car, and I used this alone on my sister's car. 4 weeks later, we have still got a great hydrophobic layer of protection on there. It can't be beat for the money, absolutely worth it. And finally, I just wanted to go over a few nice to haves. Sealant, great for hydrophobic protection on the wheels. Eliminator, panel wipe, great before you clay bar and or machine polish. To the Max wax, I don't think I have found a better wax in terms of protection. The Meguiar's stuff is excellent and easy to take on, but this really goes to the next level, but it is a bit more expensive. That's why I'd include it in your must-haves. Exterior trim protector, great to just make those exterior black trims. Black again, looks fantastic. Fragrance on the inside, this is definitely not Bleu de Chanel again, and it complements the interior detailer. Then you've got a couple of polishers. This will be if you're looking to machine polish or hand polish, but if you're just looking to get a customer's car cleaned up, you don't need all of this gear. A tyre gel, this is just great to add that really, really nice sleek factory look to tyres. And then a brake buster. This is Viper from Easy Car Care. A brake buster is essentially a degreaser, an ultimate and all-purpose cleaner, but with a lot more bite when it comes to brake dust specifically, and also a lot more foaming properties as well, so you can really get good coverage with it. So the final chemicals and products are done. Let's just look into a little bit more gear with cloths and brushes. And here we have 27 microfiber towels from Fibre King, and these were on a Black Friday price, £20, so just under £1 a cloth. £1 a cloth is a very good price to pay if you buy it in bulk. And then a wheel brush. Everything that you need to clean on a car can be accomplished with these 2 items here, a towel and a brush. You will find it difficult to do other bits and pieces, say in between the vents, but these are the best items that you need to get started, and if you only had these, you could go out tomorrow and do a very good job. We'll see you out there. So by my calculations, you can get started with a bunch of car cleaning supplies for £550 or thereabouts. Great if you're looking to get out there tomorrow, and also a lot of these products are actually available in Halfords, online, click and collect, next day delivery, that kind of stuff, so you can get started as quickly as you want. I have spent £1,048 on my equipment. I don't even know how I've spent £1,000. That's so much money. But again, as I said, I was a hobbyist before. I've been a hobbyist since I could learn to drive at 17. I've been cleaning my dad's and mum's cars before then, so this is a lot of stuff that I've just amassed over time. The last thing that you need, in my humble opinion, is Monster Energy White. Not sponsored, just love it. Oh, that's the good stuff. It tastes like Lilt. Do you remember Lilt? What is it now? Fanta Tropical? Something like that. It's amazing. All right, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have started your own valeting company, I'd love to know what your startup costs are. So drop them in the comments. Let me know. If there's anything you think I got incredibly wrong, there will be. Of course there will. I'm human, so let me know that too. I love to hear all the comments where people tell me I'm wrong, because that's how we learn. We get better through others correcting and critiquing us. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you all in the next one. Bye!